Hello friends, and welcome back to Plant and Preserve. Today we're going to kick off this hot August with a little bit of Christmas in mind, a little bit of smart planting. And we're going to make some spiced cranberry concentrate. You will thank yourself come this fall that you thought ahead, planned well, planned smart, and preserved it well. So stick around, we'll be right back. This is my last one, so I'm going to demonstrate it today. But it's shelf stable, it's water bath safe, and you can blend it with sparkling water, apple cider vinegar, or even put it in a cozy cup of tea. It is the holiday punch base you didn't know you even needed. Our recipe calls for 8 cups of fresh or frozen cranberries, 4 cups of water, orange peel, dehydrated orange peel spice, cinnamon sticks, whole cloves, and 1 to 1.5 cups of sugar. They're pantry friendly ingredients. Included the dehydrated orange peels from Spice Islands. That way you ain't got to worry about getting some zest to put in it. And we're going to pull all this together over on the stove, so I'll meet you over there and we'll pull it together. Okay, so we're over here at the stove. Just for reference, this recipe called for 8 cups of fresh or frozen. The bags are 12 ounces, and I don't know if you can see, but I'm just shy. I got like 7 cups. I'm shy a cup of cranberries. I don't want to open another bag of cranberries just to get a partial little bit, so I'm just going to reduce it to like 7 cups of frozen cranberries, 4 cups of water, 2 cinnamon sticks, whole cloves, orange zest peel, but we're using dehydrated in our recipe. What I'm going to do, instead of just throwing these in here and then have to dip them out later, I'm going to put them in a little spice bag. So I'm just going to sit that in a little cup holder here. Put my 2 spices, my 2 cinnamon sticks in there. 1.5 spoons of dried. And this is what it kind of looks like. And they taste like orange peel. I don't have whole cloves. I have ground cloves. Called for 2. I'm going to put about 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, there we go. We'll bring this to a simmer and I will be back. Alrighty, so while that's coming to a simmer to cook for a bit, 15 to 20 minutes, let's have our first little table chat. This was my first attempt at cranberry juice. This I took and just put fresh cranberries. This was in December of 23. I just took fresh cranberries and put it in my steam juicer, and this is just pure cranberry juice. This is kind of a concentrate. Things I use this for. Let me just back up for a moment. My husband is an avid cranberry juice drinker. He has a glass. I think I've mentioned this before. He has a glass every night when he goes to bed. This has no sugar in it, so it's very tart. When I first put this up, I didn't put any sugar, just put it straight because I was trying to make it healthy for him. But what we've come to appreciate and use this for is more for not just making cranberry juice to drink, because you got to add sugar, but we can add the monk fruit and stuff with it. But this makes delicious, delicious. I love sparkling water, and this makes a beautiful, delicious sparkling drink. This cranberry juice. It just takes a dab. I have a soda stream over there, so I use that for that. It also is delicious in tea. So we normally just use this, and we have just a couple of jars left from 23 for those special drinks and things that we like to use it in. And then in December of 24, so a year later, there was a lot of rave on YouTube where they just put the cranberries, I think there was a quarter cup of cranberries in here or something, a little bit of sugar, some hot water, and you water bath it. And we have, I think this is, I have a couple of jars of this left on the shelf. And then I was like, man, last year I tried one jar when I did like this with an orange slice, a cinnamon stick, and some cloves, just to try it. Because I'm not a drinker of cranberry. I like a little bit of hint to it. And so I made one, and it was probably, I don't know, over 6 months from making this. So so it would have been earlier this year. Yes, it was earlier this year. I apologize for that. Dates, I can't make my mind up what day it is because I'm retired. We tried it, and oh my goodness, it was so delicious that I made a whole bunch more. And this is my last jar, and it's the beginning of August. And we kind of hoard these for special occasions. Now these, I have this cool little handle. Me and my husband don't drink, but these make delicious gonna get a little cranberry out of there. These make delicious little drinks. And so the other day I was drinking them. We were on the porch. It was raining, and so we got out our little holiday drink. And I hated drinking it so much, so I bought these little sippers, just so I can make the drink last a little longer, because there's not a lot in here. I absolutely love this drink. Now, this was an approved method. These are not approved methods for canning. And sometimes I tell you, I'm kind of like on a borderline. I mean, if you look at the recipe for making cranberry juice, you have to take out the orange slices, because it should have been probably pressure canned. So there's a risk here, and so I want to get better at how I can and what I can. So I went on a quest to find a better recipe, and using approved methods. So dry spices are approved when you put things in, but orange slices are not. With that said, let me just take another sip here. I don't know, these straws are kind of tiny. I think I'm gonna go back to drinking it like this. God, that's so good. Where was I at? See? Squirrel. So anyway, I did some research, and that's in doing that research, I remembered I had some dehydrated orange peel. So the more I dug into it, I feel like it's pretty safe. So according to the Ball Home Preserving book on page 189, where it talks about how to put up cranberry juice, is basically just cranberries and water. No sugar, no spices. Cranberries are a natural acidified food. They're acidic. So in general, cranberries in itself is water bath safe. When you introduce water and sugar, you could alter that pH balance. And fresh herbs or fresh fruits, such as the orange peel, etc., can also introduce those types of botulism, because it's on everything, even the cinnamon sticks. So dry herbs don't introduce that. It doesn't change the pH balance that much. So based on recipes I looked in here, based on my research on the National Preservation website, I feel confident this is a safe canning recipe. You have to choose and do your own research as what you feel like safe for you and your family. I'm not going to move forward doing this anymore. This is my last jar. So hence why I'm trying to make a better, safer product for my family. So with that said, that's how I evolved into this recipe. I went from doing it right to, oh, that's cool on YouTube, to maybe I shouldn't do that, and come back into middle of the road when it comes to safe canning. So that's how I evolved with this, because we love cranberry so much. Again, do your own research, do what you feel is safe in your kitchen and with your family. So let's go over to the stove. I hear popping. Alrighty, it already smells amazing with those spices in there. So as you can see, my cranberries are popping and getting mushy. So I'm going to turn this down to simmer, and I'm going to put my timer on 15 minutes since it's been going for a few more minutes while I've been yakking. I'll let this simmer for about 15 minutes and really get all the juices out of those cranberries and blend this these spices into this juice, and we'll come back for the next step. Okay, the cranberries have simmered for 15 minutes, and as you can see, they're all smushy, mushy, mushy, mushy. I have my stainless steel mesh strainer and my glass measuring cup, and we're just going to pour it in here. And we're going to let these drain for, I don't know, maybe give them about 5 or so minutes. We'll see how it goes for draining. I'll let this drain, and then we'll bring you back for the next step. I thought I'd bring you back real quick. I won't do it with this batch, but in the past when I've made my cranberry juices, I would take this pulp and use it for cranberry sauce. Another recycled project recipe that you can get from one thing of cranberries, juice and sauce. All right, we got almost 4 cups of juice out of that cooking. Now the recipe calls for cup and a half of sugar. I'm gonna start with a cup of sugar, and we'll see how it tastes from there. We're gonna bring this to a simmer. And let it reduce just a little bit. So According to my line in my pot, I am right at a quart, 4 cups, when I added that sugar. So we'll be back at the next stage. Alrighty, we're fixing to jar this up. It's been simmering for a few minutes. We're just below the 1 quart mark. And as you can see, there's a little bit of scum at the top of the cranberry juice. So what I'm going to do is strain this. Here's the juice, and you can kind of see the scum. And I will say, I did taste it off the spoon, and it is pretty tasty. The spices aren't overpowering like, and the other one wasn't. The one I made, whoops, wasn't either. But I don't know. Depends on when this settles down. I may increase the spices just a tad next time. We'll see. But here we go. We're going to jar it up. Alrighty, let me get my jars out of the canner. They've been sitting there pre-steaming. Not sure how many jars I'm going to need. 4 cups-ish, a 1/4 inch headspace. It's so pretty. Pretty excellent tasting. Actually, I think I like that recipe. Now this recipe is a concentrate. You'd add this jar plus 2 or 3 more jars, depending on how concentrated. Now you may say, Brenda, that's a little bit of work for such low volume turnout. Well, possibly. I'm going to can this too. If it seals, I'll use this first. But yeah, it's a low volume, but I get 2 to 3 times the volume when I dilute it. Plus, this is for part of my Christmas in August, in case I didn't mention that earlier. It's part of my Christmas in August series that I'm doing. You can make these ahead of time for Christmas, punches, or gifts. Maybe you want to give it as a gift. So let me get these in the canner. We're going to can them for 15 minutes in water bath. I actually have a steamer. We're going to put them in the steamer and steam them bring them up to temp in the steamer with a gauge, and steam can them for 15 minutes. And then I'll bring you back when that's done. I kind of want to show you the consistency of this concentrate once it kind of cools off. It's thick. It's not liquidy by any means. Now I don't know how it's going to turn out, but that is pretty yummy. All right, let's do our final table chat here. We got what I consider 3 3/4 jars. So let me plug that into my handy dandy little spreadsheet here, because you know I'm a nerd. All right. Numbers. I went back to last year and I could not find how much I paid for those. Hold on, let me just check one more place here. I got those bags. My last one just sealed. I got those bags sort of kind of on clearance at the end of the season for $1.50 a bag. I've got them as cheap as 50 cents a bag, but that particular year I got them for $1.50 a bag. I have 3.75 concentrated jars. Now we're looking at this for possible gift giving. I'll talk about that in a minute. I used 2 bags of cranberries, a cup of sugar, which isn't much, and some spices. So that comes out to 80 cents a half pint jar. 80 cents. And you're going to put 2 to 3, I'm going to say based on my taste of tasting the concentrate, because it was thick, but if it thickens like it did earlier, it may be 3, but 2 to 3, 1 part concentrate to 2 to 3 parts water. So I'm just going to go with 2 parts of water to be on the conservative side. So it's costing us 80 cents a jar, and I get 3 cups, from 1 cup to 3 cups of cranberry juice. So that is 26 cents a cup of juice. That's pretty decent. But here's the thing about this recipe is I'm going to be doing it over the next couple weeks. Some unique Christmas holiday gift giving ideas. Not necessarily Christmas, but maybe a holiday party, Thanksgiving-ish, fall-ish, that you could easily just make to give away in a gift basket. So hope you will come back, which reminds me to like and subscribe if you hadn't already. Share this video. But I'm going to be doing 3 more videos for holiday in August. My theme is holiday in August, in preparing for the holidays. So in case you hadn't heard, I'm a nerd. Hey, that kind of rhymes. But I also like to plan ahead. It makes life so much easier. You're not rushing at the last minute to get things done or get the last sales or whatever. Anyway, what I've been doing for several years now is I try to make a homemade gift. There, a couple years ago, not last year, but the year before, I made the most, I thought, adorable, what I call boo-boo kits. And they were a huge hit with family and friends. And years before that, I would put in my blueberry pepper jam. Gosh, what else I put in there? My cowboy candy. It's just some little, I'd make little jars of things that people liked. And it makes the cutest little thoughtful gifts. Not that I'm a thoughtful person, I'm just a nerd. But so this kind of gives you some ideas. Planning ahead. It's August. Christmas will be here. Before you know it, school starts and bam, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas kind of comes over a 3-day weekend there, so to speak. But it'll be here before you know it. So I hope to give you some ideas on what you can do with this. So you can put it in, use it for a punch base. Just drink it, dilute it and drink it. Use the concentrate to put in your sparkling waters or apple cider vinegar. Maybe my husband does that sometimes with his leg cramps. Teas, hot teas, cold teas. Then, so things you could do with it, gift ideas, put them together in a basket. So I hope that gives you some ideas. It's very economical. This whole jar cost me 80 cents. Like I said, my jars are an investment, but if you are having to buy jars to give away, of course, that's going to add to the cost. So maybe $1 a jar with that. So a couple dollars for a jar of cranberry juice. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it helpful. And again, make sure you like and subscribe to share this video with your friends and family. And don't forget, plan smart, preserve well, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.